Inside 6 Yards is proudly supported by 1951 Goalkeeper Coaching.
For more information, you can visit their website at 1951goalkeepercoaching.com.au.
Or you can find them on Facebook
Or Instagram.
at 1951 Goalkeeper Coaching.
Links are in the description below.
Hey everyone, welcome to yet another episode of Inside 6 Yards. I'm your host Yatesy, and with me as always is my co-host.
Mr. Tommygun.
And who else do we have here today, Tommy?
Mate, we have special guest. I'm not going to fool myself and try to not full pronounce your whole name, Michele, but how do you pronounce your last name?
Mestieri.
Mestieri?
It sounds so much better when he says that.
It's sexy. So from Michele from 1951 Goalkeeper Coaching is joining us live via Skype. Thank you very much for joining us today, Michele.
Thank you for having me, guys. Thank you very much.
Mate, just straight off the bat, me and Yatesy both have to just say thank you very much for supporting the channel, helping us grow. Your support's been awesome, and we're glad that we can help you out, and also help build up a bit of angst towards this, or a bit of I don't know what we could say.
Would you call it a war cry?
Yeah, almost
a war cry
before the goalkeeper battle comes about, which we're only 2 weeks away. Is it 2 weeks?
Less.
Less. Well, you're the person to ask, Michele, because you're the one that organises it all, mate. But yeah, you can tell us how many days, how many hours.
Well, I'm not too sure about that. It must be 10 days. And let's be clear, I'm not the one organising it. Is a lot of us, including you two, organising it. You know, as much as me, there's a few nights that needs to be spent on even the minor details.
For sure.
But yeah, it's closed. It's kind of organized. There's a t-shirt that needs to come, gloves.
Yeah.
There is, fencing needs to be organized. There's suppliers. There is a canteen. There are 118 goalkeepers there. Need to be informed of at least the fixtures and other stuff. So it's busy, but it's lovely. It's a lovely time to get organized.
As being part of it for the last 2 years, it's really good being a part of it, but also now being involved in a little bit of the preparation and kind of hearing and seeing what goes on. I think it's probably a lot better than doing that and competing as well, because you're all excited and all hyped up because you know how much effort these guys put in.
Yeah, you do. And it's like, but it's a lot of effort, and I think it's brilliant for all goalkeepers. But let's see if we can get back to the original of how this thing, like, how did the goalkeeper battle start? What was it like? Just a brainwave one day with you or with Mr. SDL? Like, what actually happened? Like, how did it all come about?
It's honestly fairly popular in Italy, and I had a couple of friends that did it over there, was successful, and I didn't see why it could not work in WA. We have a lot of goalkeepers, and there was not really anything for goalkeepers only, and that's when I thought, well, that was at the beginning of my 1951, which started only 4 years ago as 1951. I've been a goalkeeping coach for way longer.
Yeah.
But 1951 started 4 years ago. A year in, due to the good relationship with Stewie, I thought, why wouldn't I use this guy, which has got a great knowledge of WA, of people in WA, and see if he's going to be willing to support me in this absolutely mental idea of starting this from scratch, not pitch, not people, not goals, nothing. So I caught up with him at Carousel Shopping Centre, having a coffee, and I was working next door. And I've asked him, and his answer was a straight yes. Well, not blink of an eye.
Yeah.
Then we decided to go ahead from there, and the rest is let's say history. But it got better and better.
So it was the first one was it 40?
Yeah, we're just over 40 goalkeepers. Yeah.
And then the second one was
80 84 or 86 last year, and then we move on to 118 this year, but with a few going in and out. So overall, probably 135 that were willing to come in so far.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
So
crazy
on that first meeting with Stu and your double espresso coffee that you probably would have got. Was it? So obviously, it didn't take much convincing for Mr. Stu to do it. But how long roughly did it take to plan and get things in motion?
The first one, that was fairly fast planning because we didn't have much time. As I say, we didn't have much of a clue. None of us did. So we started working straight away. Yeah, and I think there was a lot of stuff that could have been done better. So it didn't take long. I think it was 2.5 or 3 months, something like that.
It's quick, yeah.
Which is still a fair amount of time. Don't get me wrong. It was nights and nights. But it wasn't structured. This time, it took probably 6 months, something like that, to organize it. We started way earlier than the time we put the ad on.
Yeah.
But then that gives us the time to get it organized in a bit more professional way, which is, that's the way I run 1951. That's the way Stewie runs SDL. Yeah. And that we want to make sure that gets reflected. That's why we're using you guys. We're using in a nice way. We collaborate with you guys because of, this setup that you have, how professional you are, how passionate you are about goalkeeping. Those are the keys for us.
Yeah, for sure, mate. I'm happy for you to use us anytime because we love it. Yeah.
Also for training as well, because that was quite enjoyable. That UWA.
Yeah, definitely. We need to organise another UWA session with Michele because that was good fun.
So it'll be plenty of chances, hopefully, if I can get my contract renewed.
Yeah. It was like I said, how obviously it's grown from how much, from the very start to what it is now. I guess it's really good seeing that because, as you said, you want it to be a bit more organised, a bit more structured. There was structure in the first one as it being involved. It was great, and the second one, each time you kept going, it was just, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So it's going to be incredible to see what's going to be. Obviously, we have a little bit of a sneak peek what's going on, but it's still going to be amazing to be there on the day and see everyone rocking up and. The juniors, the women's, and the men's competing. It's going to be unreal.
Yeah, I could not agree more. Keep in mind that this year we went even a step further with the goalkeeping morning. So now we're talking about, instead of being a 1 day for goalkeepers only, it's becoming 2 days for goalkeepers only because, luckily enough, there's new guys that came on board as part of 1951, which are Nick and Ricardo, and having the chance to have Tony Franken stuck in WA, kind of.
Yeah, we got him.
It's look, he's been again very supportive. He's the head of goalkeeping coaching and for the FFA, and there is a chance for him to see in one spot under 20 goalkeepers. There's only goalkeepers. That's all it is, and I think works both sides. So it's good for us to have him, but I think it's good for him to see that there is something like that, which I don't, I don't see anywhere else, and hopefully won't see anywhere else because we've got good plans for next year already. So
that's
what I'm
exciting.
working towards.
That is.
Yeah, like planning ahead already is like just nuts. Just absolutely nuts. But we can't wait for it. What's the date? Is it October 5th?
So October 31st is the goalkeeping morning.
Yep.
So it's 3 hours, including yoga sessions and other stuff.
Is there spots still open for that? Sorry, Michele, for the viewers?
There might be only 1 or 2 spots open. Yeah. So there's 40 goalkeepers in that one. So there's only a couple more spots.
Open age group or what age group?
Divided age group. So it must be, I think there's 1 spot for the 2010 and 11.
Yeah.
And maybe 1 spot for the 2007 and 8. Everything else is gone.
Well, that's good. It's good to hear that it's
Yeah, it's been great. Even setting up that one has been a big success for myself and for the event in general.
Yeah.
And on the Sunday, yeah, as you know, there's 118, so fully booked. There's no spaces. Yeah, it's been
It's going to be
look. I don't even know what to say.
Crazy.
It's amazing.
But one thing, Michele and Stu need to, both of you on that Sunday, just need to take a second to yourself, take a deep breath, and just take in what you guys have accomplished and achieved, and just have a look of what's out there, because I know there's a lot of young goalkeepers, a lot of old goalkeepers that are excited about it and being there. So hats off to you guys. You've done a great job, and it's good to have that. This wars for goalkeepers, a day or a weekend, I guess you could say, for us.
Yeah, 100%. But now we just need to make it happen. So can't wait to actually get there and get that going. See the referee blowing their whistles and all that stuff happening. See kids smiling because they got t-shirts and gloves, and they're getting, they're clapping each other's hand, they're clapping their hands to a save or someone else's, because it's just a goalkeeping save. I don't even know what to say. As I said before, it's just beautiful to see everyone helping everyone else's, which takes off all the pressure that you usually get as a goalkeeper, that you need to perform. If someone else's score is your fault, everyone pretends it's your fault because it's easier.
Only one man to blame.
It's and then there's no one to blame. It's you against someone else's. Just enjoy it. You're gonna enjoy either kicking it, saving it, whatever. There's a goal. You lose, you win. There's always gonna be a winner. That's the idea. There's always gonna have to be someone it gets the trophy at the end. But in the process, there is a lot of good goalkeeping. That's what it is.
Yeah. That's it. And you definitely, we've mentioned this many times off our podcast, is that love and support that's throughout that event. You see the juniors, you see the seniors and the parents watching the juniors, congratulating them, good save. And then likewise, the juniors come and watch the older guys and hopefully learn a thing or two, and vice versa.
Man, the goalkeepers union, you don't know, you don't know what it's really like till you go to a goalkeeper battle and you realize what the goalkeeper union's all about.
Yeah,
that's just it, isn't it?
Yeah,
we're in big force there. We're in numbers. We're in a herd.
That's so true.
So, Michele, let's take a little trip in a time machine, and let's go back. We'll start with 951. So let's go back 4 years ago. So what made you want to start 1951?
Well, I don't exactly know what it was, but I've done a few years. So I moved to Perth around 9 years ago, just over 9 years ago.
Yeah.
And since I moved in, I got luckily enough straight into coaching. So I was at Perth Italia at the very, very beginning. I say
so
2 days after
PSC that is now, yeah.
Perth Soccer Club, I think it is. Yeah, it was Perth Italia at the time. And I had a lovely guy called John Birighetti translating for the young goalkeepers that were coached by me, because I couldn't speak a word in English. So, I was speaking to him in Italian, then he was literally translating each single word to the goalkeepers, and it went well. But as every immigrant, you have to go through visas because you come into a different country. Then for a short time, I had to stop, focus on something else. And then I started all over again. I think on the second or third year I was here. So I lost a couple of years. Yeah. And then I started and I went to Goalkeeper, I've done Subiaco, I've done Morley and other clubs. And I found that there was a lot of attention to juniors, don't get me wrong, but the goalkeeping as such, it wasn't something that was getting used by many. So the club where I was clearly invested on the goalkeepers, but there weren't other goalkeepers coming in, because clearly there's different clubs, so it gets a bit harder.
Yeah.
So I found myself into a position where I saw a lot of potential, but I could not coach that potential. Then the only way to get someone else's to come and train with me was to kind of move out from a club and move into a one-off business, a one-off goalkeeping academy. And then I decided to start, 1951 like that. I didn't know the name. I started with 3 cones and 3 balls. That was the reality. I didn't have gears. I didn't have anything because it was in another country. There was nothing. And from there, I started with 1 goalkeeper, which is the one that really was, I could not coach somewhere else, so I really wanted to coach. And from there, I just started building it up. And these days, there is, as of today, there are sessions Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, between north and south of the river. There is myself, there is Nick, brilliant goalkeeping coach that you know very well. And there is Ricardo, which was my goalkeeper at UWA. Brilliant goalkeeper, incredible goalkeeper.
We saw some of his highlights.
Yeah, you popped up a few highlights on the
amazing
1951 goalkeeper page, and I was like, oh damn, Ricardo's man, he's something. I was like, yeah. I don't know why when you get introduced to somebody in a coaching environment, for some reason you just get into your head that that's what they do. And you just like, oh yeah, they coach, they don't play. But Ricardo's still he's
23.
Yeah,
23.
Yeah, so he's still young, so he can he can still do it. Like he's younger than me.
Yeah, but keep in mind that Ricardo was playing Serie C, so third highest division Italy. Last year as a pro. So that was his job.
That was his job.
Lifetime. So he was looking for. This is probably a question for him, but I think he was looking for something different. Then he moved to Perth, and I've been lucky enough to be the one that he got to because of common friends, which is Dom. They took him to Fermento. He started training with me, and he honestly took a good 30 seconds to understand that he was the goalkeeper that he is. And he helped me as a coach, but he helped me as a goalkeeping coach for the club, the club, and so on. So that's the way 1951 evolved. As I say, from nothing, every year I try to do a bit better and a bit better and a bit better, and luckily it worked. Through that, I went through qualifications as well in Australia. So I had few Italian qualification, and I took a week off to get qualified in Australia. I just flew to Sydney to get my level 2, which I just got given.
Wow.
So it's time consuming. That's first of all, but it's super rewarding. Because then the idea that at the beginning of wanting to coach more keepers from different clubs is exactly what's happening. And now after a few years, you got the one that started with me and they were young, and now they are playing Division 1, Saturday League, even, that stuff, because they grown up. Jamie, which we both know.
Yes, that was going to be one of those questions there.
Now she's a pro. So that was the first one there. Luckily enough, I was able to get to that level.
So how long were you coaching Jamie
and
for?
it's not me yet. I coached him for only last year. So 1 year, or just over a year. And Jamie was already a very good goalkeeper when she came to me. And she was willing to go the extra mile, I think that you're saying here.
Yeah.
So she was focused, never missed a session, never found an excuse for not doing something. She was always giving your under 10%, gym time, stretching time, everything that had to be done to get to where she is now. It was happening at the time. So
she's over.
That's Jamie's.
Yeah, in America now. Whereabouts is she? Is she what? Because she's
University of Hartford.
Wow.
Hartford,
yeah. So that's full time, isn't it? Full time training and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I lucky enough, I got a few pictures, a few messages from her, and yeah, the setup is a pro setup. It's a professional environment. There's training every day. There's gym sessions. There's one-on-one sessions. There's group sessions. I think there's different level of goalkeeping based on the year she's on, because she just moved in.
Yeah.
So, and there's goalkeepers that have been there for years. So there's different level, different expectation. Is a pro environment.
Yeah.
The States, women's sides in the States is crazy.
Oh, it's massive. Well, we had young Stacey on our show as well, and she went through the same process. But it's how does it make you feel as a coach, Michele, that knowing that someone that you coached and had involvement in is now doing what she wants to do in the States?
It's the same feeling as the battle. It just makes you smiling and just being happy in general. It does not matter anymore what the time you put. Did it work with others? Didn't work with others? It just, you can get someone to where they want to be. It's just a rewarding feeling.
Almost like a proud parent in a way, isn't it? Kind of,
It is because, and I'll tell you what, when Jamie told me she signed the contract, I had the biggest smile on my face, because clearly, but at the same time, I feel sad because I knew I would have lost it. I knew she would have moved on from it. And as a coach, it gets you both sides, and but when she goes, so since she moved on to the States, I've only been smiling, because then I can just enjoy the fact that she's doing what she loves.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you're also another female keeper is it Gail?
Dale Schroeder.
Down at Freo, because they won the women.
Got second in the WNPL.
That's it. Yeah, that's good.
Sorry, they got second in the cup.
In the cup. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, that's a good effort for her as well.
And I tell you what, I watched that game and she played a blinder as well. She played really well. She made a lot of great saves. And she even, it went to a penalty shootout. And to be honest, she did well in the penalty shootout as well. She made a few saves in the penalty shootout. But it was literally just a show of goalkeepers in that penalty shootout. If you want to watch a penalty shootout versus the Northern Redbacks, it's the other goalkeeper that was in goals was Aquino, the glory keeper as well. Yeah. And she was in goals, and she made, I think it was about 4 penalty saves in that shootout, or 3 or 4. It was just like, I was sitting there going, feeling bad for Dal. I'm like, what are you gonna like? Come on, it's one of them things. But there are some brilliant goalkeepers around. Yeah.
So how many players or how many goalkeepers Michele does 1951 have under them? How many are you coaching roughly?
Well, I'll say, I don't know, around 50, 60 a week, something like that. That's the numbers, but that's the 3 of us.
Yeah.
So remember that 1951 is now is now an academy. There's 3 of us goalkeeping coaches, and there are, say, all the juniors at UWA, all the juniors, so juniors and seniors at WA, juniors and seniors at Freo. There's some seniors at, so all the seniors at Floriat.
Yeah.
There was, lucky enough, a coach for a school here in Joondalup, which has got 8 keepers, very good.
Wow.
There is, plus my Saturday where it's got few keepers coming down. I would say that by the end of the year, I think there were 25, 30 goalkeepers just in there every Saturday, divided by the 3 of us.
Yeah.
And I only coach on ratio of 1-on-5 max. So I don't coach anything more than 5, because that comes from the Italian background where the technique has to be understood before you can apply it to your game, to your game-related exercise or to your game scenarios and stuff.
So is that like the biggest difference that you've noticed between the kind of like Australian goalkeeper coaching to the Italian? Is it more technique based Italian, like from what you're used to?
Yeah. So the biggest difference is definitely that one. So what I found what I found when I started the courses in Australia is that the game scenario and that component was the key, while in Italy at the time, we talk about years since I moved there, from there. So when I was there, the technique was the key. Now clearly Italy is changing as well. So the game-related exercises are coming even there. They've been there for a bit now.
Yeah.
But the Buffon, those guys, I would say they mainly focus throughout their careers was make sure the technique is spot on. So if you can take the ball, if you need to step left, then make sure you step left with your foot open a certain way, your body leans a certain way, your hands are set in a certain way, and then they travel a certain way. Then you hold the ball, you take it to the chest, make sure you're covering it. And there's all this, a lot of technical steps that has to happen one by one. While here is all about the game, not all about, sorry, that's incorrect, is much more about the game component. So as a goalkeeper, make sure you are into the right position as the ball is kicked. Make sure you can do certain things, or you can, low dive if something happens.
Yeah.
And what I found the best, and I have to be honest with that, is the two combined. So having the lack of doing both sides, then all technical, probably not right. Good, possibly, but not right. Only game related wouldn't be right, probably. Good, but not right. Together, I think it gives you the evolution, so the step by step. So you learn the technique, then you apply your technique. And that's what I love. And that's probably, hopefully, is what you've witnessed yourself when you came and trained with me.
I was about to say that, because we all in the session which we did record was just at the start, which we
didn't record. We didn't record the beginning of it, but
the process of starting off just that simple with that step, broke it down very simply, and then as the training progressed, so did the drills, and then that's what happened at the end. And for myself too, after that training session, I think Nick might have spoken to you this about Michele, but how pretty much every time we were doing something like that, I was taking the time slowly to get that corrected. And it's amazing how something simple like that, it makes things a lot more easier. So again, thanks for that, and it's great. And it's good to see it. It's good to see the breakdown and actually to hear it from yourself explaining it. So very, very, very good. So did you get any coaching qualifications in Italy?
Yeah, so I've done a few courses, but the real one, the very cool qualification, the highest one, is something I wasn't able to do at the time because I didn't have the age, didn't have the club to support me. So it would have took me a little while to get to those levels. And so I couldn't do it because I left Italy. But there is something I'll be going back for. That's for sure. It's a course in Coverciano, it's called. It's in Italy and it's in Tuscany. And there's 2 levels that needs to be done. And it is amazing. It's amazing, the setup. Is where the national team trains. The course is runs by very high-level people, very high-level soccer players, old, new. It's just where you want to go as an Italian goalkeeping coach. That's just where you want to go. Majority of people I collaborate with in Italy, they have been through those courses, and they are, they're already in clubs, high-level clubs. Then to get to those high-level clubs, you have to go through those courses.
So when you were growing up, Michele, who did you play for over in Italy? What are some of the clubs you played for in Italy?
I play basically on my juniors. I wasn't one of the guys that changes team very often, so I play basically my old juniors career in the local team next door, it was an okay level. So it wasn't the lowest, it wasn't the highest, and it's called, you'll never know it, but it's called CS Sant'Agostino, so very small village
Sounds
next
really
to where
good
I'm
when
from.
you say it. Yeah.
And yeah, that's what I've done my juniors and part of my seniors. And after that, I moved away, moved here. And when I moved here, I played for Dianella, Morley, Guella, Maccabi, those small clubs. I didn't come to Perth saying I was a great overseas player. Let's say just that. That was
the great overseas import kind of thing, you know.
The next before. Did you have a favourite club there or a favourite season you like to play with when you were over here? Like a highlight season?
No, I love playing. I don't have any highlight season. Nah, I just I actually enjoy the fact that I could use it as a social things for me. Even if it was Saturday, whatever it was, the division. Keep in mind, I moved here and I couldn't speak much English at all. If that was probably even not even close to be enough to get some food. So that was my English. It was absolutely zero. So going and join a team, it was great because then I get accepted for something I was okay at, which is playing. But in the meantime, gave me the opportunity to speak in English, learn the terminology associated with the soccer component. So I would say, catching the ball. Very easy for you to say, very easy for anyone that speaks English. But for someone like me that didn't even know how to say, good morning, catching the ball as a one-off phrase, which is a key for my coaching, then someone had to explain it to me first.
That's just like me and Yatesy, we can't say catch the ball in Italian.
So if I say to you, prendi la palla, you wouldn't have a clue.
And there's no clues at all.
No, there's no clues in that whatsoever.
Sometimes in the Italian language, there's some clues of what it is. You know what I mean? But I would never guess that if you told me.
Yeah, no.
And that's the reality. So I had to go through the hard way. I have to learn everything since I moved here. So anything, the technique. Yes, I know the technique, how to put the hands and how to hold the balls. But then how am I going to explain that technique to a 10 years old, which doesn't know it? And knowing it myself is not good enough. Then I had to go through that process of learning it myself. So those 2 or 3 years where I didn't coach, but I played, then gave me the opportunity to move forward into that.
Yeah, that's good. It's probably one of the best ways to learn a language is to come over here or go to the place we're going to learn the language and be involved in that community group, because really that soccer club is pretty much like a family, isn't it? So you're with with those people 3-4 times a week. So you get to learn, like what you said, the definitions of it, like catch the ball, but also too you kind of get those little mannerisms, the little words that you need to know as well, which help you out. So hopefully help you order a coffee.
Yeah,
the small.
I work in a coffee shop at the beginning, so.
Oh well, you'd be fine to make it yourself.
Don't need to order one; just make it. Yeah.
Oh,
I think the curious question that I think everyone has to ask.
I know what you're going to ask.
Everyone has to ask you, Michele, though, is the name for obviously 1951 Goalkeeper Coaching. Is there a reason behind the name? There's got to be a wacky story behind that. If there's not, I'm going to be disappointed.
That is, as a business, if you're thinking about it, it's a terrible name. Let's be realistic. I could have called him Future Generation Goalkeeper or Pro Goalkeeper. There's a lot of cool name I could have put on. But when I started, as I say, I started because I had this dream of being able to coach kids. And that was only my target. That was really my target. As many kids as I can, help them out in reaching, the best level they can.
Yeah.
So then I was at the name point, and that is a bit of a sad story. So when I moved to Perth, it was 10 years ago, 2011.
Yeah.
And I moved in Feb. So in June actually, I had to fly back quickly home because Dad wasn't feeling well.
Oh,
right.
And
okay.
And then I lost Dad around, say, 20 days later, and that was August 2011. So
Right.
Dad was clearly born in 1951. So when I started 1951 is my family's all in Italy, so everyone is there, but I can talk to them. I can talk to anyone. And luckily I've got a brilliant family here with a lovely wife that supports me and a brilliant baby. So the only person I could not show, let's say 1951 was going to go well, then the only person I couldn't show it was Dad. Then I thought, well, how am I going to get him involved? Oh, let's give him the first part of the business then. Wow,
That's awesome. And you know,
and that's how 1951 came up.
Oh
you
wow!
go.
And actually, I'm actually quite proud wearing that because it's you. That's awesome. It's a sad story, but it's a good story.
It is.
You know what I mean?
But you know what? It turns out amazing because every time, and that's what I say to people, it's like, yeah, sad story. I agree. But then from that sad story, all I get is smiles. So I finish my Saturday session. That is 5 sweat kids. That needs to go for a run because some of them lost the game, some of them didn't. So some of them is laughing because hasn't lost the game, so has won the game, and he knows the other are running, and the other one are running because the other one are laughing because they know they run this time, but they're keen to get those guys to run next time. But in the end, all 5 or whatever it is going to be the number, they're laughing. So from my dad, that happened to him. All I've got now is 60 kids a week that's smiling, or 60 goalkeepers, not even kids, 60 goalkeepers a week that I'm trying to make him smile. Well, how am I going to be any happier than that when he's associated to 1951? No chance. There's 118 in 2 weeks. They're going to wear 1951 on their jersey.
Yeah.
And it's a win-win for me. In the end, it turns out as a win-win.
Yeah, no, that's good.
No.
I feel proud wearing it, like I said, so that's good.
Love that story, man. I like the fact that it means that there'll always be a part of your dad with the business as well. And I think that's such a cool thing as well. And yeah, it is. I was wondering because like the instant thing that I think of, or anyone would think of, is like when you hear the 1951. I was like, Michele's not that old. No, I was like,
there must be something in that coffee.
I was like, maybe he might be, but he just looks damn good for his age.
Yeah, definitely not.
But then it was like, nah, it's good. There's got to be another story here. But awesome story, man. I'm glad that we finally got that one out because it's been killing me forever. I think forever, but.
Yeah, I think, as I say, it doesn't help the business. So, try to promote something that's called 1951. It was already making you feel like it's an old way. While, as I was saying before, I'm trying to develop myself. I'm not the best goalkeeping coach. I might not be the worst one, but I put a lot of effort in changing my coaching style, improving it more than changing it, refining it. Started collaboration with other people, both in Italy. Nick is working on his side as well for other stuff that hopefully will be live soonish.
Awesome.
But again, first thing that goes in front of you is 1951. And even on the backbeat, goalkeeping coaching, I could have called him goalkeeping academy. Again, look better. But I didn't because I'm not a businessman. I'm someone that, the same as you too, had a lot of passion on day one and has a lot of passion now. And that passion is still going down because, I've achieved small bits. It goes up. It gets more and more and more and more.
I think it's very clever what it is because at 1951, it's easy to say. It's short. It looks good on a t-shirt. And it's quite distinctive too. Like you can see that 1951.
Yeah, just don't tell Stu about the logo because Stu hates needling your logo. And he tells us about he's like that 1951 logo, pain in the ass to needle. And then he does our logo as well, and he's like, this is a bloody pain in the ass as well. He's like, why can't you just do SDL?
3 letters.
Why you can just get 3 letters, which is very catchy as well. 3 letters is probably the best way. There's a lot of, if you're going on the website on Google, you find a lot of different businesses, with three letters because it's catchy.
Yeah.
You should have looked. I should have looked at the colors. There's a lot of stuff you can do.
That's if you got a marketing degree. Yeah, or if you want to do like the old school with the yellow pages and stuff, you just turn A and it'll be like AAA painting or AAA driving instructor because you'll be the first one that people look up.
Yeah.
So that's good. So I've actually got a question for you, Michele. Now, this is probably it's one of my favorite things to do, which I know most of the time is incorrect because it's incorrect technique, but a foot save.
Oh
now,
no, here we go. Here we go.
The expression is everyone loves a good foot save, but
that must be the quote of it inside 6 yards, isn't it?
But,
everyone loves a good foot save. It's like
the other side of it is that if you can get your foot to it, you can get your hand to it, which I agree with.
Well, it depends on the distance, I would say. More than so long distance shot, foot save is a no.
Yeah.
Short distance shot, a foot save is probably a yes.
Acceptable.
Because you wouldn't have the time to drop your hands.
Yeah.
I would say your set position changes in relation to the ball. So let's say again, short distance, your set position will have those ends a bit lower and open.
Yeah.
Then by the time the ball comes at you, you will struggle to take the opposite ends from where the ball comes from to reach the ball. Then you're gonna find that you're gonna be out of balance, and then there is more risks. Probably on Tommy, I would expect him to have more chances to save it with his ends because of him being slightly shorter.
Yeah.
For you, Luke, the same as the gear, which you love and all that. The foot save is something that has to happen, has to be in your bag, and you have to be ready to use it at the right time. You can't just cut it off because it's not good. It is. If you're saving the ball from going in, it is. If you're using it incorrectly, then you just need to refine the technique you're using based on a certain shot.
It's very, very interesting. And I tell you, when you said about that set position of the hands go a bit lower, and that reminds me of Nick because his set position, it looks really good, and he does very, very well.
He is very shaped. He's very shaped,
and it's good watching it and having as a coach. It's amazing.
Nick can tell you a story about coming when we started working together a bit. He, as I say, he's absolutely brilliant. So let's forget. It's not my coaching. He's an absolutely outstanding goalkeeper. But he was this was going the same way as it was in Italy. I don't know, probably 15 when I was a keeper in Italy. So say 20 years ago, where the coach tend to tell you just go forward and close the angle.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. Don't get me wrong. It makes perfect sense. You're going forward, you're closing the angle. But unfortunately, you're also cutting yourself short of time. So Nick, in being probably more like on the Tommy side, a bit on the shorter side goalkeepers, in going forward, he couldn't reach balls that were going a bit too wide. So yes, he's closing the angle, short of time, can't reach the ball on the side.
Yeah.
So with him, we spent a bit of time in his set position was great. So we just had to hold him back a bit because that what it gave him, was giving him the chance to actually travel a bit more on his dive and saving shots that would have struggled a bit earlier. But that's again, Nick, you tell something to Nick, he trains. If he needs to repeat it 550 times, he will repeat it 550 times until it's in the right spot.
He's such an old school professional like that, though, isn't he? Like,
pro mentality in anything he does. Coaching is the same. It's been absolutely. I've been the luckiest goalkeeping coach on earth probably this year because finding those two guys has been it's been great. His technical knowledge is incredible. His attention to detail is incredible. You know yourself how much he cares about the foot and the ends and how you're moving those together. It's just.
And he's very patient too, especially he's patient with me.
You have to be patient with this guy.
But I've been, I've had the luxury of training with him, and just certain techniques was that step. When we're turning for the cross against goal, and just that footwork there. Like I think made me do it 5 times, and that was good. Like I was, I said if it's not right, correct me, and we spent, I think it was good 15 minutes on it, just that turn. Yeah. And it was amazing. It was really good.
You know what happened? Nick doesn't know it because I didn't even tell him. I didn't tell him, but I'm okay. My left foot is pretty okay, and my right one it's definitely not even close to be good enough. But in training with Nick, I got so pissed off because he's able to kick very well with both feet.
Yeah.
And I said, there's no chance I'm gonna let this guy being better than me in kicking with his right foot.
Yeah.
Then from there onwards, I trained so hard with my right, making sure I can improve my right kick. And now I can actually, one day I'll be challenging him and says, Nick, let's give it a crack with this right one.
Yeah, I reckon, here's one for you, Michele. Maybe next year, maybe have you and Nick Stone have a goalkeeper battle.
Oh, that sounds naughty.
I would pay to see that. That'd be so good.
Oh man, I'd love to see that.
I would literally join now if I could. It's just the managing component doesn't finish on the night before when I finish my fixtures and write it down by hand and all those things. It just keeps on going. So on the day there is someone that's got a question, and there's going to be someone that at the canteen is not too sure about something, and you need to put a face on it. And then that's the only reason why I am not playing it, together with some injuries I had on my shoulders. But I would jump in if I could. I would go back and play as a goalkeeper if I had the time, and if I'm not that old. I'm still okay for that. So
you're never too old, mate.
Take Nick for example. Nick's still got a few years on you, man, and like Nick's still doing extremely well in goals, and I tell you what, he gets around that goal like a 20-year-old man. He covers that goal extremely well, and you see like a lot. I've seen so many of these photos that come up online with him, and because the Swan I see club have got a really good photographer that tends to pick great pictures of Nick in action, and literally he's always like up top bin saves, and literally like, man, he's so acrobatic. It's insane, and I'm just like, I would love to be able to do that at his age. Just like I can't even do it at my age.
It comes back from that pro mentality that we discussed. So if you will see him, if he could not make that save, it will train it to make it happen. Yeah. So I future out with him clearly because we talk a bit, and he's we had the one about the vertical lip. Why didn't I get that type of a ball? And if you give him an instruction, or if you give him a target, he will go and get to that target because his professional mentality is still exactly the same, if not even better than where he was at 20 years old. Yeah. So, and that's where the added value of Nick is. I'll ask you, Luke, I'm sure Nick will get frustrated because you do not do something right, yeah? Have you ever seen him getting upset with you?
No.
For that?
No, it's and that's the professionalism. He'll look at it, and then he'll kind of go off in his own little world for a second, and then he'll go, okay, let's try this. So he always comes up. So there might be an issue, but then he'll go, well, maybe let's try this. So one, because he said he spoke to you about it, but my step forward is too far forward. So yeah, just like getting the ball on the corner and just doing those little things like that, and it's amazing. Like he'll do this, okay, try that, and never gets angry, laughs a lot, which is good, which makes you enjoy it. You're working hard, you're sweating, but you enjoy it. And I think then we can all agree here as a collective that if we didn't enjoy doing this, we wouldn't be doing it. You know, we love it. It's
sure.
a passion.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's what we do it for, you know, like and that's the thing, you know, when you enjoy something, you know, even though you are sweating your ass off, you're sore, you know, your shoulders are a bit sore, you got, you know, scabs on your elbows from diving so much, you know, and your knees are shot, but you're still jumping up, diving around because it's just what we enjoy and what we love, and we love having a laugh, having a great time, and
Or staying up late to be on a podcast and then go for a run on a treadmill and do some training preparations. Yeah,
That's my life. That's my life. Unfortunately, can't do anything about it.
Well, you'll be able to
there's
watch
too
the
much to do.
championship. Yeah, you might be watch a bit of the championship league tonight. I think that. I don't know. I don't know what time.
See, I can't afford to spend a full 90 minutes. That's where I am. I can't afford to spend 90 minutes watching a full game. I can't. It's just too much. So I watch highlights and I watch the Optus and Foxtel's got a 24-minute stuff.
Oh yeah.
Then if I really want to drill into a bit more to certain goalkeepers, there's few that I love.
Yeah.
Then I try to spend more time on those highlights because I know they're going to get something that is going to be good for someone else's. I love spending time see the evolution of a keeper throughout the year. So some keepers starts the season and he's possibly not the best one, but he gets better and better. And then tells me probably there's a good goalkeeping coach at that club.
Yeah.
It is a bit easier for me with the Italian goalkeepers because I kind of know few coaches from there.
Yeah.
But the English goalkeepers to me, it's great. There's some great goalkeepers. There's some bit less great goalkeepers, and it's just again love doing it. That's I spend hours and hours watching and cutting highlights and do that stuff and planning session based on those, because the hours just go. You're starting, and 3 hours later is already 3 hours later.
Yeah. Well, look, we've been talking for an hour pretty much now.
yeah, we're nearly at an hour, and like literally, it's it's just flown by, and but that's what that's just how it is. Like when you enjoy something, it just time flies, but like the other thing is that what I think is that if anybody ever spends any time with you, Michele, either if it's talking or even if it's actually doing a session with you, I think the passion that you have for goalkeeping, the passion that oozes from you is so contagious. It's and I think that alone sells you and 1951. Regardless of if you think the name doesn't it's not easy or doesn't sell the business too well, behind the business is you and what you bring to the table. And I think no matter what name you put on it, kids love it, goalkeepers love it, and you're only gonna get better out of your goalkeepers by approaching the way that you approach the game. And it's even just from one session with us. Literally, I literally just took a step back and went, I haven't thought about something so simple to improve my game. And then literally every time I did a similar drill to that, I was concentrating on doing exactly what you told me with my steps. And I was like, and it was just the simplest things. And I found myself getting to balls that I struggled to get before that became easy saves, as opposed to a difficult save that I would make it look really good. I'd make that save look an amazing save, but all of a sudden that save was just a routine save now. So you find yourself improving dramatically from little things and it's all the little things that accumulate to make you a good goalkeeper, and you're no longer an average goalkeeper. You make a good goalkeeper. And man, like I think me and Yatesy both love the way that you go about it, man. And we'll do anything and everything that we can to support you
and promote
what you're doing, man, because we think it's awesome for not just for yourself, but for the WA goalkeeper community can benefit a lot from just learning from you. So if you do want to contact Michele, or if you want to find any more information on 1951 Goalkeeper Coaching,
we'll put it here.
We'll put it. There is links in the description below, and there's also a website 1951 Goalkeeper Coaching, and you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah,
definitely.
You can actually find me on YouTube as well.
That's right. Yep.
No, but we don't care about his YouTube channel, all right? If you're the only YouTube channel, all right? No.
100%. This is the way to go.
Of course not. No. Michele does have actually, and that's what we want to talk about as well. You do have some really great and interesting videos on your YouTube channel as well, which we will put a link in the description as well. And they're breaking down like goalkeeper mistakes, if you like, and then how to analyze it, and then also how to plan a session around that.
Break it down.
And what made you want to do that, man? Like, what was the thought process behind that? Apart from a lot of work, because me personally, I know how much effort goes into that kind of stuff, and you've put in a power of effort into this, mate, and I'm very impressed. Very, very impressed.
I would say that's my mental process. So unfortunately, I cannot watch a game without paying attention to what's going on. If there's a goal that is not savable, it's not savable. Perfect. Go ahead. It is what it is. But if there is a goal that can be saved, then there is a session that can be done to help the goalkeeper saving it. So I pick famous goalkeeper. You can go on YouTube and find billions of errors, crazy errors. Majority are on distribution. So, but let's say even handling errors. De Gea is one that I'm sure you know very well. Sometimes saves incredible shot, and sometimes let in very easy shots. I think I got one of them is Edison, again, top goalkeeper. But that's exactly what I do. So I tend to look at a video, pay attention, is this one going to be helpful for someone out there? Edison error is on a scoop. He's on a scoop from a shot that is from the edge of the 18-yard box, shot at 100 miles an hour. So let's be realistic. Average player don't shoot that fast. But average goalkeepers are not Edison. So let's put it a notch down. Let's take it down one step. And then let's go one keeper that is not Edison and one striker that is not whoever was in the other team. Then can we apply it? Yes, we can. Absolutely. In a game, you miss your scoop, the ball rolls in front of you, someone cuts through, takes the ball away, you're going to get scored.
Yeah.
Can we work on it? Yes. So let's start from this real game scenario, which is the Australian way, brilliant way of thinking. So let's use it as a game related, and let's break it down, making sure we can work on a straight shot only. So the technical component of the scoop. It doesn't dive down into the technique as such. I don't break it down, the technique. The scoop has to have a step forward, hands needs to go parallel, blah, blah, blah. I don't need to go into that detail. For that is the goalkeeping coach role. So if someone is interested, can come to me, can come to any goalkeeping coach that's got understanding and go into that detail. But the understanding of could I have done something different, that's what I've tried to work on. And that's what I do every time I watch an highlights. And every time, as I say, if I try to look if the goalkeeper gets better, it's exactly that. So at the beginning of the year, he was making mistakes or making saves, not saving balls that he could have saved. But by the end of the year, he's actually doing it. Then to me, it's perfect. That means the video analysis he does with his coach, the level of goalkeeping he does with his coach, makes him a better goalkeeper. Then I should be checking on that goalkeeping coach, where it goes and what it does. Because then at some point in my life, I might meet him and I'll know I can trust him. Imagine just Udinese is just a normal club in Italy, but has produced Andanovic, Meret, Scuffe, Musso. There's 4 or 5 goalkeepers, one after the other one, and they're all brilliant. Something has to be good in there.
Yeah, something's
and
going on.
And it can't be
there.
the goalkeeper, because the goalkeeper goes away. So must be the one that looks after those keepers. Roma is the same. Roma's created Alisson, is the one before them, Cragno at Cagliari. There's goalkeepers that are absolutely brilliant. And that's because of the coaches being very good with them.
Oh, that's.
While if we want to talk about De Gea and Ederson, we can spend a bit of time.
I don't think we have enough time. Well, he did make a good save. He did make a good save on Saturday, actually.
Indeed.
I think
on the low dive left.
Yeah, that was really good. I'm surprised he didn't use his foot for that. But you look at his
didn't
body
know.
position. It was really good. Me and Tommy were talking about today actually.
Literally, we were just like saying like, it's such a goalkeeper thing though to do, isn't it? It's such a goalkeeper thing to make, you know, to make a silly error or something that's like a shot that you're like, oh, I should have saved that, and then the next minute pulled out a worldie. It's such a goalkeeper thing to do. But no, mate, like. Yeah, sorry.
If you got the time, guys, just a quick one. So if you got the time, look at Ederson's save on a 1-on-1 with his 5-point block. He touched it against, I think it was Saha from Arsenal.
Yes.
Okay.
I saw that one.
Was it that one?
Brilliant.
And there is another game now.
That's the one where it catches him. It doesn't catch him on the hand though, does it? It catches him on like the shoulder or something like that, is it? Or
it catches on the shoulder.
Yeah.
But look at where the ball is and look what foot Ederson uses to drive the 5-point block. Then there is another game which someone lost, I think, for something at the beginning of the week.
Yeah.
Do you know what game was it?
in the Premier League.
In the Premier League. And there will be 2 1-on-1s,
Yeah.
similar 1-on-1s, and the goalkeeper does the exact opposite. So striker's got a ball on his right-hand side,
Yeah.
and goalkeeper goes with his right-hand side foot forward, and there's 2 goals.
Yeah. Okay.
Then if you're looking at that, then you can understand why it's beautiful to watch. It's beautiful to watch game, and it's beautiful to understand. It's beautiful to watch those highlights and look into how those goals can be prevented.
Yeah.
And that's the work of a goalkeeping coach, I would say.
Oh, awesome.
And it's hard for me. The hardest thing, I think, what I found when I was trying to analyze my own game was to realize which ones are the ones that I need to work on and which ones I need to let go. The ones that I'm like, I'm not going to get to it. There's that save's not going to happen. And then it's hard. It was hard for me to figure out which ones I'm like, okay, that's something I need to work on, or something that's like, oh, I should have been a step to my right, or should I have got that, or should it have been a top hand, or should it have been like which hand should I be using? And yeah, I think that for me that was the hardest bit. But what is there any factors that you would probably think as to what can differentiate between the ones that that's one that we can work on, or that one is like that you write that goal off and go, no, we can't really work on that. That's just a great shot.
If you have if you have the video of it, and you need to have it because otherwise it's impossible to understand it.
Yeah.
You can watch the video and see if you realistically changing any part of your technique, positioning, whatever it is, you could have actually saved that ball.
Yeah.
Without guessing, you can't guess a shot. You don't know what it goes before.
No.
So could have you moved the step differently? Could have you have your hands in different position? Your positioning as such could have been, short, closer to the goal, the same as, Nick, we discussed before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are, the video review is the key. If you can use the video review and have the time and spend the time in learning about yourself through videos, which you can repeat over and over, then you'll be able to understand, yes, I could have saved it. No, I could not have saved it.
Yeah. And I think that's, especially in the modern game, what we find is that a lot more clubs are using like the new VEO systems, and a lot more clubs are starting to film their games because they're realizing the benefit of actually reviewing game footage and going, you know what, this is good, so we can see how our shape is, how we're actually forming that formation, and seeing, okay, this is where we've gone wrong. This is the steps that have actually gone towards us conceding the goal. And you're not just the goalkeeper positioning as well. Like we go a step beyond that, especially with game footage. You go to, what's led to the shot on goal, what's led to the attacker having the shot. We can go back steps as to why it's got through 11 men before it's actually got to the shot and got to the goalkeeper as well. Because like even my coach, like Bobby Despotovsky, I remember him saying to me, like, if you're having a quiet day or if you're not doing anything, then the rest of the team's doing their job. So, and I was just like, yeah, that's fair enough, you know. And but you know, you always want to be that goalkeeper that when you're called upon, you do the job right, you know. And yeah, it's video review, such a valuable resource in the modern game. I think. What do you think, Yatesy?
Oh, look, I agree. It's been used in Italy. It's been used in England. It's been used everywhere for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And it's just slowly catching on. I know the AFL do it as well.
Yeah.
There's lots of sports out there to use it, and it's quite a crucial tool, not only to correct a mistake, but also if a team has done something well or a goalkeeper's positioned himself well, it's good to highlight that and to say, look, this was good. This is how we can build, and this is how we scored from it. So,
Yeah, because you just love pulling off a worldie save and going, did somebody record that?
Yeah.
Please tell me we got that.
Did you get that one?
But no, mate. Thank you very much for joining us, Michele.
Yes.
It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you on the podcast. We definitely need to get you back on the show to discuss more things that is goalkeeper coaching, and we need to pick that brain of yours, I think, a bit more as well.
I think we might show get some footage of maybe one of us doing something, and we can get Michele to pick on us.
Do you know what I think? I think we need to do is I think we need to get Michele in the studio, and I think we need to react to his solo goalkeeper video live with him. And we'll put it on the big TV that we've got in the studio, and we'll bring him in, and we'll watch your YouTube video for solo. Was it solo training that you did? Solo goalkeeper training as well? Yeah.
Yeah, it was one.
Yeah. So
to get 5 minutes of it, it took me 1.5 hours of trying because I wasn't happy. I was never happy with my foot, my hands, my head. It was so much annoying. It was when I reviewed it, I was like, should do it again.
Do it again.
Let's slow down the standards. Yeah.
But
I'm annoying.
Yeah, but that just shows you that that is what you want from your goalkeeper coach. Though that you want that OCD perfectionist to go, great save, but yeah, wrong hand. You should have saved it with the other hand, or you should have took the step more to the right, more to the left, and you would have made that save look easy. But instead, it's a highlight save. And it shouldn't have been, you know.
You might want to change that and stay on the positive, but
you
might want to say, great save. We can even do it a bit better next time.
Yeah, that's it.
That sounds better.
Yeah, exactly. And you've learned that over time, haven't you, Michele?
I did indeed. Yeah. Managing has been a very hard curve to learn.
Yeah,
it's very nice. Very nice.
Perfect.
Australian way of managing, it is brilliant. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
Managing the player here, the way they do it, is great. Always positive talking. It's unbelievable.
That's good.
Very grateful I've learned it.
Well, again, what Tommy said, Michele, it's been an honour talking to you. Thanks for coming on the show. We're, again, very, very much looking forward to 10 days' time to the Goalkeeper Battle.
10 days.
10 days.
10 sleeps.
So if you're listening to this, we will be down there as well, as we've mentioned before, with our podcast, interviewing people. We'll have a chat to Michele and Stu, and Tommy's running away. So we're going to
we'll be out here with this puppy.
We'll be a microphone here.
Yeah, we got a microphone. We're going to be doing interviews and stuff, aren't we?
Yeah. So for the listeners, don't be scared. Come say hello. Have a chat. Have a chat to Michele as well. He will be busy, so be patient with him.
Oh yes.
And also Stu. But look, if you do want to get in contact, follow all the links, all the descriptions. Go in there. Give him a like. Give us a like. You know, tell us your favourite colour or, you know, your favourite goalkeeper. Michele would love to know that as well.
Yeah, and that's it, guys. And that has been another episode of Inside Six Yarns. I've been Tommygun.
That makes me Yatesy.
And this has been Inside Six Yarns. Take care, stay safe, and enjoy the off season because we're in the off season now. Okay.